Good afternoon. Rich Nass, Executive Vice President, here for this week's installment of 5 Minutes With. This week, I will be speaking to Bruce Alexander, a Vice President with WinSystems. Good afternoon, Bruce. How are you?
Hello, Rich. Good afternoon. I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Glad to hear it. Okay, so I read your bio, and it says that one of your goals is to maintain a unique culture at WinSystems. What is unique about the culture at WinSystems?
Well, Rich, I believe one thing that does set us aside from maybe a lot of companies in similar industry and our similar industry is simply the fact that when our company started 35 years ago, obviously we were a small company. Everyone was very tight knit. And being, a startup at the time, it had a certain culture that is tough to maintain as a company grows. And through these 35 years, I think we've often tried very hard to stay focused on our employees inside of our organization. And, some may say that it kind of creates a family feel in an organization. And very often that gets lost, I think, as companies grow.
And how many people are you now?
We are over 50 employees.
Okay. That's a fair statement, I guess, to be like that, to have that family feel to it. But I guess that's a double-edged sword. When times are good, that's a great thing. When times aren't so good, that could be a tough way to manage. Is that fair?
I think that is a fair statement. I don't know if you have siblings yourself, but much like in a family, sometimes it can be good, and sometimes being brutally honest, can be difficult. But in running the organization, we definitely have to maintain a level of professionalism and a business climate. But at the same time, I don't believe it gets lost that we do truly care about each and every employee in the organization. And with that honesty, I think it does help us to kind of break some of the barriers that may have been built otherwise, being able during the difficult times just to be honest about the decisions that we're making as an organization and some of the changes that have to be made, during those times. And it's that openness and honesty, I believe, which helps us to kind of maintain that culture.
Very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're sort of the dad of this family, being that you're running the day-to-day operations. Now, you probably have some, I'm doing the air quotes when I'm saying kids in the company, in the engineering team who are, again, going out on a limb, saying they might be significantly younger than you. How do you deal with people who are in a different generation gap? I know in my day, when you had a issue in the engineering lab, you stuck your head over the cubicle and you say, "Hey, Bob, how do I do this?" And today's engineers don't seem to do that. They immediately reach for their handset or they run to Google for an answer. Are you seeing the same thing, and is that a good thing, bad thing, doesn't matter?
Well, I do believe that it not only exists today, but of course, with the advent of the internet over the last 20 plus years, I think it has tried to, or it had that mentality has crept more and more into any organization, and we're not absent from that either. However, internally, we have a very collaborative working style. We do not have offices with doors, even though everyone does have their cubicle per se. We kind of break down those barriers and intentionally through meetings and through prescribed sessions, if you will, force our folks to sit and talk openly about the issues and the problems that they're dealing with. And to a degree, as you mentioned, we don't have too many, if you will, really young engineers. But the ones that we do, we kind of break them out of that comfort zone, if you will, and it took them a little while to adapt. They were uncomfortable at first, but we just bring them along and kind of try to explain to them how, you know, us old guys do have some wisdom that we can share with them. And, you know, once they began to understand the benefit of that, I think we've been successful in kind of bringing them out of their shell, if you will.
On one hand, I'm laughing at your old guy's analogy. On the other hand, it's actually pretty painful because I fit the bill.
You're exactly right.
Very good. Well, I certainly appreciate you spending the 5 minutes with me. I know you guys are doing some really great things there at WinSystems, and I look forward to exploring this a little further.
I look forward to it.
That was Bruce Alexander. He is Vice President of WinSystems, and I'm Rich Ness with Open Systems Media. I hope you have a great day, Bruce. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.